Welcome back to another Frenemies rant. You know what you're here for. My name is Jem. It's time to reload.
Last week, I went on a rant against Moses for being I asked him to suck my dick. I did do that. And that request still stands. It's a standing request.
All right, I'm going to talk about it. So, if you guys remember on the Howie episode, he asked us about it because he was like, I don't like seeing that this family is not talking to each other.
You want me to pull that
And-
stamp up so people can see? Or should
sure.
we show what he sent first?
The poker? No, wait. So in that conversation, I feel like for the first time, I put it out there that I'm maybe willing to open that door
That's shocking.
and like
Hear that? Ethan said he was shocked.
see what could happen. Because for me, it's always been closed. It was like, I need this distance between us and I cannot entertain this relationship.
We'll get back to this part.
And I was dealing with a lot of frustration over it over the time. It's really annoying. I don't like it, but Anyway, I was like, maybe I should think about it. And I was willing to put that out there to see what happens. And then what really hurt me to see then following after that is that what he chose to send to my mom was the clip of Ethan saying, what if your family member is an asshole? And how he said, that's fine. Then you say, you know what? I love this fucking asshole. Something like that. That's what he said, which...
Called it! Listen to what I said on the last episode after Ethan vaguely told us what happened.
Howie he was on me about when his Frenemies coming back.
Yeah.
So he forced me in this position, which, again, I'm happy. I don't shy away. I like to answer anyone's question about anything, anytime.
True,
And
that's Ethan.
And then he sends a clip of Howie having forced me into this conversation to the mom to be like, look, he won't shut up. It's like, you fucking coward. Loser.
Moses, you're wrong for that. That wasn't his fault. Howie brought it up, it's true. So why didn't you show your mom the part where Hila said that she wanted to work things out and to be cordial? You could have showed her that part. Kind of gave your mom some ease. No, instead you showed the part where Ethan was like...
What if your family member's just a giant fucking asshole?
Called it!
By the way, to me, actually it seemed like a really good point. I thought it made a difference for me because that's kind of an interesting way to look at it. Like, yes, let's all just say it. You're an asshole. Let's move on past that.
What Howie was talking about was agape, unconditional love in the roundabout way. And we already discussed this in my hate or love video that came out in 2022. Yes, I was comparing Trisha and Ethan, but switch it for Hila and Moses. And the same thing I was saying.
But anyway, I thought it was a good
You love
point.
this asshole.
There you go. It's a spectrum of assholeness.
How wide of an asshole are we talking here?
Either way, he chose from that to just take this moment and send it to my mom, like, look at what they're doing, look how they're talking about me. And then my mom went into a whole breakdown, just like the endless cycle that he keeps doing with my family. And
You hear that endless cycle? Didn't I break this down in Gaslight? What Moses was doing to people? What she's describing is what we already discussed a long time ago, what Moses was up to.
when Ethan saw that, then Ethan came on the show because it was the same day of the show and he was upset. And then that led to the rant that you guys saw of Ethan.
Didn't we call it over here that Ethan and Hila were locked in step? Hila couldn't say what she wanted to say about Moses, but she could send her foot soldier Ethan to say it.
And so it's just been endless and we're all so over it. And I feel like, I guess I can update you guys that some of you guys were worried that maybe we will reconcile and you'll see us reuniting. So don't worry, because it's clearly not going to happen. It's done.
Over here, we talked about frenemies and if there was ever going to be a frenemies reunion. But I want to also make a point that even though that was a big topic of discussion, what took priority was always Hila and Moses reconciling. So on that front, it is disappointing to hear what Hila is saying. But I'm still wondering if she's still missing the mark.
It's not gonna happen, and I got my answer because I put it out there and I was waiting to see which way the wind will go, and it went in a very direct way to shutting it all off, and that's the end of it.
I'm glad that Hila, in a roundabout way, found out the truth. But again, I said it before in the last video and all the previous videos. The whole problem originated with Moses.
Let me show the original clip and then what he sent, because I want you guys to see what a snake he is.
Ooh, do not take that word lightly. He called Moses a snake. Didn't I call him a saboteur? It's all in the same boat.
Because anyone who's left defending it, which I know there are some people in the Trisha fandom who are, let me just show you what a snake this dude is.
If someone's stuck in the Trisha fandom and the people who are stuck in the H3 fandom, I'm telling you, for the majority of these people, it doesn't matter what's said on whichever side, whoever the person likes the most, that's usually who they're going to stick with. It doesn't matter what you say. You know when people switch in fandoms? It's only when they are personally offended by the YouTuber they like. Trust me, people don't really care about your beef. They just care about who they like more.
I did. I watched the poker thing, and then I saw Tana trying to.
By the way, it's like every time someone asks me about them, you can't send it to like and say they won't stop talking about me. Like, we do a live show, so I can't be like.
Y'all, we told Moses this last episode.
You know what I mean? Like, it's like I'm gonna answer it. I'm an upfront guy,
And I've explained
and I'm
that.
sure people ask them all the fucking time. But
I've
they just cut it
explained
out.
that.
Didn't we call it?
Oh, you shit. And anyway, I feel like I've been super reasonable and fine when I talk about them, you know, up until this point.
And also,
not that I'm not being unreasonable. Go ahead, AV.
There's
please.
a lot of crossover as well, and everyone always brings up each other to you guys. So,
Trisha, even though you weren't talking about him, you were doing good, but you're associating it with all the same people. When they mention Ethan, obviously you guys are cutting it out because there's no way I'm going to believe they're not mentioning it to you. Ethan does a live show. So when people bring up your name, he can't cut it out, so to speak. It's live. He has to go with the flow. We called it already.
To them, I explained it to everybody, and so the fact that after this, which to me was opening the door, after this he still chose to do that, that was just like, honestly, a slap in the face. I don't know how to call it.
I
but
was
it
amazed,
was just,
by the way. I have to say, when
the door is shut closed.
When you had said you would consider it, I was like, what?
Ethan was amazed, you say? Didn't expect Hila to want to forgive Moses? Pull up the clip. We already said that.
But Gabe wouldn't care, right?
I'd hate to see you leave, but...
That's the disconnect right here. Ethan is stuck in the past knowing that his wife does not want to talk about Moses and Trisha, that he doesn't realize that at that exact moment, she does want to talk about Moses and Trisha.
But think of
I honestly don't even, as I was saying it, I wasn't even sure if I'm really ready for it, but it's been exhausting. And so I was like, I don't know. Maybe I need to reconsider everything. I don't know.
So
I
here's
honestly
the
don't
clip,
know, but
first of all. And
I know now.
Totality.
Wow, Hila says she knows now. I was even wondering what changed because, remember, I showed clear pattern of Hila not wanting to discuss Moses, not wanting to talk about him, and to see her start talking about him with Howie, even I was kind of confused because I was wondering what changed. So I like that Hila explained herself and that in the moment, really, it was her talking to Howie and whatever he was saying really resonated in her. And she had that step forward only to have Moses just push her away because Moses never wanted this reconciliation. Never, ever, ever.
Get you to do frenemies again.
Yeah.
And then that's why and maybe you don't want me to bring it up and you can tell me to stop it.
That's why you asked us.
That's why I asked. I said not only hopefully there's a frenemies reboot, but I'm very concerned that you don't talk to your brother. That's very important to me. I think as
I love how important it is to Moses or to Howie that you and your brother talk.
Yeah, Ethan. Even I was like, huh? Like, why do you care? But Howie does explain himself later on. So then it's like, okay, I get what you're saying.
Jews, we can't hate each other. The world is hating us as it is.
True. We got to keep it tight.
Oh my God.
Yeah, this should all be clipped up, okay? Because they talk about something else, they go back to it for another hour or something, and then they go back to it again. So all of this should be clipped up.
Be
Clicks.
an exclusive.
Okay, so I wanted
Think
to
of the
say something,
thumbnail.
you guys. I wanted to say something. Whenever you bring it up, for some reason, it hits me differently. Maybe it's like a father figure speaking to me. I don't know. But maybe I'm open to thinking about something to do about
I
this
hope you are.
situation.
And I'm not saying it because I
Brokered
want to
by
bring up
Howie?
something that's
Yes.
controversial.
I'm open
It just-
to a situation where it's guided by you.
From day one, I'll do it. From day
So
one,
for me, this
when,
was, we're both,
Oh, yeah.
this was really a lot for me, and I was kind of like anxiously waiting to see what will happen, what will follow it. If he really wanted to put the family together, there was a chance here for sure.
Right. And the chance dissipated because he didn't want it.
So I'm going to
But-
get to the point real fast of what he said.
Both involved in it, Ethan.
important.
We need
But
an
you were.
outsider.
When I first met you, I met you in
Howie doesn't know all the
Malibu.
details, though.
I started talking
Well,
about
he'll
it,
have to
and people
educate
got
himself.
mad at me. Your audience got mad at me because I said to Ethan, "You don't talk to your sister-in-law, and and you don't talk to your family."
The part where he says the part. Yeah.
Because, yeah, you should click on the other one.
Okay. So anyway, we had a long
'Cause
conversation.
and we
about
go
it.
on and
Yeah.
off topic. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, just to give you an idea of the tenor, the tone of the conversation there.
Context.
So from that, which is mostly Howie saying get back together, and Eve being like, you know what, I'm actually open to it for the first time ever.
Right, for the first time ever. And that's why I spent the other video going over all the previous times that Moses' name was mentioned or Trisha's name was mentioned on the show before I got to the final time it was mentioned when Howie came on, just to show the changes and the different ways and how the topic of Moses and Trisha would come up into conversation. Because something like this, it's like you can't really treat it in sound bites. You have to really watch it long form. Let's see what Moses decided to show the mom, even though we already know.
Here's the TikTok that Moses sent his mom. People go, oh, he has a right to confide in his mom. Is that what
Yeah,
he's
this
doing?
is not confiding. This is manipulating.
This is the clip he sends her.
That is family.
What
You
if
don't.
your family member's just a giant fucking asshole?
You could say that, but I love this giant fucking asshole that happens to be my brother.
Howie,
Wow.
This is why Hila said no, it's not just confiding in your mom, it's manipulation, because to see the whole sentiment of that episode and to only take that one little part where Ethan was being Ethan. And I even gave Ethan a pass, like, oh, he didn't say the name, as a joke. No, Moses decided not to show the other part where Hila was talking his sister. No, he wanted to focus on Ethan doing his dark humor and like make that the serious part of the conversation to show his mom to say, hey, they're always talking about me.
This is what he heard.
so he goes, they're obsessed. He called me a fucking asshole. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
And so this little fucking rat tried to spin it, but like actually, it was taken in totality, such an fat fucking obvious little bitch made move. Sorry, but it is.
So there is the final update on the saga. It is the end. It is the end. I feel like this time it was so clear. It was like as clear as daylight.
I'm glad it was clear, Hila, but no, it's not over because I'm telling you, if Moses were to have some kind of epiphany and pick up the phone and call Hila and be more receptive to whatever she had to say, they would make up. It's not over on Hila's side.
And you know what? This was an interesting thing
I
too.
said it.
Go ahead.
I put in the opening for it, and he chose to focus on the asshole.
Yeah.
He chose to focus on that and send that to my mom, and to me, that says everything I needed to know.
The joke is Hila already knew, but she didn't want to believe it. There was some kind of hope in her where she didn't really want to believe her brother had such ill will against her. I'm going over the I Am Moses video. I'm going to do a voiceover for it. Because back in 2022, we broke everything down. It's in that video, explains everything. What she's saying right now is the same beef that they were always having. Moses is the type of person to throw rocks and hide his hands.
And the reason that I'm talking about it publicly like this is because he does all this to try to control me, and I want to talk directly to him and say, you will never fucking decide what I can and cannot do.
No,
You
that's
have no
it.
power over me, and I don't owe anybody anything.
Who here is surprised by what Ethan just said? Nobody, okay? Because we all know this is Ethan. I know Moses is trying to shut Ethan up. I know he is.
You know what I'm saying?
Same for me. I've been avoiding talking about it, trying to keep
So
it
stop, bro.
as, you know, whatever it is. I don't even know what the word, but I've been trying, and I'm just done.
Good, because why is it that you have to tiptoe over what you say about Moses? Even when they talk nicely and pleasantly, even when they just mention the name Moses and Trisha, Moses is going to twist it and tell their mom.
Yeah. You know what's funny too is like, we don't police everything they put out. I don't care if they say anything about me. Like, imagine if every time they said something mean about us, I would send it to your mom and be like, hey, you got to do something about this.
True say? They don't talk about you. Moses and Trisha doesn't talk about you, Ethan. I don't think you can use that as a comparison. Trisha's been mum. I've been watching Trisha, Ethan, since that last video, December 2021. That was it. She hasn't talked about you. And neither has Moses.
It's absolutely crazy. And he knows how hard it hits her every time.
That's why he does.
And he still does it.
In that kind of sense, Moses knows how hard it hits your mom. Moses doesn't care. I'm sorry to say. Obviously, Hila sees her mom in pain, and she's trying her hardest to avoid inflicting that kind of pain on her mom. Moses doesn't care. I feel bad saying that, but he doesn't.
So anyway, this just came up all of a sudden. I was like, oh, well, here, look at this. They were talking about us, and like, I don't care. I didn't even notice. I don't care. I wasn't thinking of sending you. And so like, I'm not fucking obsessed with it the same way. It's easy for him to be like, they will never stop talking about me. But I don't have a list of, but like, look at this. This is just from a few weeks ago.
Just to shoot Trisha and Moses a little bail before this clip plays. I know this clip is about to play because I saw it. And the only reason why I didn't include it in my videos, my previous videos, is because Trisha doesn't mention anybody's names. Apparently talking about a group of poker players. And the consensus I was seeing is not necessarily that Trisha was talking about Ethan and Hila, but that she was talking about the other players that were there because there are a lot more controversial YouTube people there. And based on that, because Trisha had plausible deniability, I didn't include it as a definite Trisha talking about Ethan and Hila. So they're going to play it now, but I stand by my first instinct to say, let me not include it.
I sent you something like a screenshot and you're like, oh my God, this is like the Avengers from hell. And you're like, Predators assemble.
So this is after our first poker event.
Oh, here, let me show the very beginning.
Yeah. Did you hear her? She said predators assemble. That's what swayed me to believe that she could not possibly be talking about Hila and Ethan.
We're even going to mention it or not, but I loved your I shared it with Moses, the text he sent me where I sent you something like a screenshot and you're like, oh my God, this is like the Avengers from hell. And you're like, Predators assemble.
I'm like, you cannot get a more dubious group of people. I was like, this is a lot.
Shut up. You don't even know me.
Laugh harder, Moses.
Also, who the fuck is that guy? Shut up, dork.
I have no idea.
Ethan randomly going off on people will never not be funny to me. Look at that dude. What's his name? Isaac? Whoops. Oscar. Yo, that guy is still there. I'm surprised Oscar is still there. Oscar, did you get a raise? I'm playing. She's probably playing him scale.
So good. I was like, sometimes, like, I know we don't text each other a lot. We have them this week, but usually we don't text each other a lot. But I was like, I have to text them this because, like, what? And then you cracked me up.
It was crazy. Z. It was It was like someone had to literally like plan to have like a group of like just dubious people.
The worst of the worst. I was like,
wild.
Bro, and present company in this podcast studio, how do we gauge that as a group of people in terms of dubiousness, whatever the fuck that's?
What, like suspicious? Shady? Nah, it was a Predator line that I excluded you guys. There's a bunch of YouTubers there. Put up a picture of all the YouTubers that were there, and I don't think they were talking about Ethan and Hila. Especially with the Predator line, there are other people there that more fit the bill.
That's all I can say. That's not on that.
Like, how did that even happen? But yeah, it was,
This dumb fucking face, bro. Okay, sorry. I won't get too caught up. All right. I mean, can I just show it and not say anything?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, I'm being told that's his actual.
how did that even happen?
Yo, listen. I'm laughing because Moses is just so pleased with himself. Look at him. This guy's practically glowing. Moses, are you pregnant? I'm telling you, Moses is sitting pretty right now. Not a care in the world. Moses is stress-free. But he refuses his mom the same luxury.
That's it. Just submitted without commentary. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Thank you.
Everything was like a fever dream these days. I'm like, what is going on?
It's actually so weird.
Too, which I'm like, this sounds like, again, Avengers
Dubious.
somehow.
Dubious.
And again, just say what you fucking want to say.
Yeah, just say
don't
it.
be a coward. Like, oh, you're better.
Just
Shut up.
say it.
They're like, yo, put a name on that bullet. That's one of my favorite scenes on Frenemies, with Ethan's like, say it.
If you're gonna come for me, just say my name. Jeff Winnick from the Vlog Squad like that too. Last year, people don't say my name, but they like to insinuate, oh, this person talking.
Come,
just
say it, bitch.
Which is worse, the event we talked about before, the Avengers, what'd you call them?
Avengers from Hell?
Avengers from Hell, or this group? Like, what would they be called?
Bro, just say League of Villains, bro. Avengers from Hell. Don't you know anything about superheroes? Idiot. Cringe.
Girl.
Avengers from Hell, the original. Which one is worse? Which one is the worst group of the...
I think this one has like real like crimes, allegedly.
Is it the sequel or the prequel?
Yeah, the sequel or the prequel.
Because this one is the original, right?
Right.
Yeah.
They're the original, but the sequel definitely has like one of those at the table was a little bit of criminal.
Yeah, true.
Okay, whatever. Whatever. So I'm like, okay, well, they do this too, and I don't fucking like pay attention or care or send it. Also, people have.
But really, Ethan, what would you have done if you sent that to Hila's mom? Like, hey, Hila's mom, Moses called me dubious. Everyone be like, huh? Should I be offended? Dubious? Let's look it up. Yeah, it's not even anything.
Fuck it.
What?
All these Trisha stands have been riding me. All these people have been riding me, being like, look how he disrespects his crew.
I didn't write anybody, but I do have a video coming up on Ethan hitting the button that didn't work, talking about telling off AB. Oh, that video was supposed to be out until this happened. I finished the thumbnails too. Tell me which one you like. Thumbnail 1, 2, or 3. Let me know in the comments.
You want to see what actual crew disrespect looks like? Let's take a walk through memory lane of a conversation I had with Trisha, a private conversation that she posted.
Oh no, Ethan, you're releasing the text messages? Guy, don't worry, Ethan. I'm going to go through all of this. Let me just give everybody the backstory behind this. It was hilarious. It was after Frenemies when Trisha walked out of Frenemies, and then Ethan and Trisha were talking back and forth. And like Trisha jumped the gun and she just released all the text messages because she thought Ethan was going to release it first. She wanted to control the narrative. And that's when I knew too about Trisha. She rather tell her own dirt first so she can put her spin on it than to have somebody else tell it instead of her. So this is how these messages dropped, and it made her look ridiculous. That's the thing. she couldn't spin it.
She posted this fucking conversation online. I was never going to make this public. She goes, regarding tomorrow, I think that's what I said. Regarding tomorrow, let's take the time off. The crew's kind of upset about how things played out, and I don't blame them. You trashed them kind of badly. They work really hard on the show. I believe this is off the tail of when Sam put together the, what was it, like a...
Man, how long ago is
advice
this been
segment?
now?
Yeah, it was like a question segment.
Was it like 4 years ago now?
No, it was 3 years ago, and it was in June 2021, because that was after she walked off the last episode of Frenemies. Then you guys were going back and forth through the text messages. And it's funny because they're telling a different story now. I knew this story was the original story that Sam was upset about a segment that she produced, and is about, the viewers are going to ask Ethan and Trisha for advice. Trisha went off, she trashed the segment. But when this first got out, immediately the H3 crew, Ian, was saying, no, Sam didn't produce the segment. And Ethan was saying that the crew was upset. But when the crew started speaking for themselves through text and Discord or whatever else, they were saying, no, we're not upset. We're professionals. We can handle whatever situation. So it's just funny now that Ethan is going back to the original point he made back then, was that the crew was upset with Trisha's behavior.
It doesn't say the date, unfortunately. And she's like, this is fucking terrible. Like, whoever put this, I don't remember if she was specific, like, whoever put this together was an idiot, but she trashed it. And Sam felt terrible. And it was like her first week of work, too. And she said, dude, let's just end this right now, for real. It's okay, for real. It's better if I'm not part of it. I don't vibe with them. I didn't ask them to be involved. They've all been nasty as hell to me. AB downplaying my shit. Dan calling me an idiot before I came on.
Again, we called all of this. I have to show the receipts.
She's like that? That's so corny. I don't think
Well,
she's
she did like
that.
a bunch of
She's
the
not.
comments.
Yeah, I don't think she did that. She's not corny.
No, but
Yeah,
she would
she's
never
not
do
corny,
that.
but she did like the top comments.
She likes all the top comments?
But this was sincere. I know it.
Yeah, I don't know, AB. That's wishful thinking on your part. And why do you care that much about Trisha anyway? You of all people should be relieved she's gone because she was on your case. Don't you remember? Oh, I remember. We all here remember. I told you she didn't like AB, and I told you Moses didn't like Dan. And yeah, Trisha too, but I had to get Moses' name in there. I like that they're kind of highlighting what went on in the past, and that's why I said to AB, like, AB, what are you doing? Trisha doesn't like you. I didn't just make that up. And when I said Moses doesn't like Dan, I didn't make that up either.
Fuck you, AB.
I said they have not been nasty to Trisha. That's ridiculous. Which is true. We were all so gracious and welcoming and nice. Ethan, I'm done. You said their work is trash. I didn't. But if I'm being honest, it is. Sam, for example, made the entire question advice segment, spent a lot of time going through questions. AB didn't do proper research, she said.
Didn't we call this already? And this is when I said how Trisha hold grudges. This is the joke of it. In June of 2021, Trisha's randomly bringing up something about AB that happened back in December of 2020. I talked about it in the other video, but I didn't have the clip. I'm going to put the clip here right now.
Not to throw AB out of the bus, but he summarized the video wrong, saying that I was
Yeah,
mad because
AB
the
kind of
chat-
screwed me. I think AB screwed me.
Because he's like, she's mad that the chat's on Hila's side. I'm like, what chat? What are you talking about? I was just like watching something on my phone.
No,
and
but also AB summarized your video.
poorly. It was not
And
what
he made it sound like it was like trashing us the whole
I was like
time.
praising, like I was like, I want to be
And
a
so
part
I
of
think
this.
AB screwed me on that one.
So-
but he did say in his after I was already charged up and angry at you and ready to talk about it on live, he goes, maybe it's not as bad as I made it sound.
Trisha and Moses are perfect, all right? They both like to hold grudges, but then act like they're okay with you.
And you were like, this is horrible and stupid idea. He summarized my video wrong. You didn't ask me. I read the comments now. Try to find employees who are all perfect all the time. It doesn't exist. And there's things you tell me are dumb. That is why I don't want Sam there. She's going to be too sensitive.
I have to say, Trisha is right about certain things. I have to say, Trisha is right. But it's the way she goes about it that's wrong.
I didn't know. So she's saying their work is trash, and she demands Sam is never on set with her. So I'm just saying, like, this is fucking gross, disgusting freak shit. And, I just want to say, I want to put it out there. Y'all want to fucking criticize me for being Trisha stans, then let's relitigate.
Also, if anybody wonders if I had tried to say that directly to Moses about this whole thing of going to our mom, I did. We talked like the last time, which was kind of recent, when he sent my mom something else out of context. I finally called him after a long time, just yelled at him, so I hung up because that wasn't going well. But then we chatted for like an hour after that, and the whole conversation of me and him talking was just stop involving our mom in this internet drama that she does not understand and doesn't need to understand.
Yeah.
So he still did not take that information and do anything with it. So I guess I have to say things publicly, for him to understand it.
Whoa. Wow. See? And these are the reasons why I can't be definite in the things that I say. The things that I say is only me rehashing what they've said. But the thing that would always throw me off is when people withhold information. So Hila's saying right now that she's talked to Moses. And she said she talked to him one time, it didn't go well, and then they were able to talk again, more calm, and they came to a compromise. Like, she did it. To bring it all back, this is the ruse, okay? This is the ruse that Moses has going on, as if everybody else is the problem and it's not him. And everybody's focusing on what everybody else is doing, and Moses is looking as innocent as possible while all this chaos swirls around him.
Also, a little special mention to this little rat, Adam McIntyre. Fuck this dude, by the way. Let me play this, and I'll tell you guys why.
What's going on here? Last time I was on YouTube, Adam and H3 were tight. What did I miss? What?
All right. Got that up.
Again, Ethan only misses Trisha because Trisha is incredibly popular right now and her podcast is doing great.
You dumb, silly fuck.
From what I know about Adam, he does long-form content. Like, you need to watch his entire video, and these guys just clipped it. I would more prefer to watch his entire video.
First of all, listen, I'm not here to brag. My podcast is still way more popular. Okay? Just numbers-wise, let's just fucking say it. Okay? Dummy.
You haven't lived until Ethan has called you a dummy. Don't even take it to heart, Adam. You know how Ethan is. You know what? Without getting into the nitty-gritty of things, Ethan has a show, 3-4 days a week? I don't even know anymore. Make no mistake, Ethan is making bank.
You're the one that called Trisha a spawn from Satan. If you want to talk about who's riding Trisha because she's popular, look in the fucking mirror, you little douchebag. And by the way...
Ethan, chill. Adam was in your chat. You guys used to shout out Adam. What's going on here? What am I missing? This is a complete 180. Just a correction. Adam did not call Trisha a spawn of Satan. He was referring to someone else. I'm not going to repeat it. Again, I remember this because I did a video on this. That was after the Colleen aftermath, and Adam is connected to Colleen in some way. And Trisha and Adam made up, and he apologized for that comment he made. And Trisha seemed to forgive him. Like I said, I'm not going to be more offended than somebody else. And last I checked, which was last year, they were cool with each other.
And then also me and Adam, he always says Trisha had me blocked and stuff like that. And it's I blocked him for something completely unrelated. It had nothing to do with this, something unrelated. He had replied to Pop Crave and say it's the spawn of Satan about my unborn, when anyone else I was pregnant or something. So that is why I blocked him. And so we have our own issues. Obviously he doesn't like a lot of the stuff I do. He just doesn't like me, and that's totally fine. And obviously I don't want to see negativity about me, especially during my pregnancy. So I just blocked him. That's it. But in this situation, I 100% have nothing but sympathy and empathy and support support for Adam in this situation, because it's just very clear cut what everything was. She was the adult, he was the minor, with the underwear, with everything like that, like the editing out of the video, like that. I support him fully.
You want to know what's sweet? In the live chat, while this podcast was premiering, Trisha and Adam were in the comments and this little exchange happened. They made up, everyone. They both apologized and accepted each other's apologies. I'm a sucker for reconciliation, so there you go.
This kid, I disengaged from this kid when he was creeping on my mom. That's right. Have I said this?
I don't think so.
Whoa! Butterfly Donna, say it ain't so. What?
This fucking little weirdo was chatting up my mom privately, one-on-one, trying to become her best friend. They were chatting, calling, texting and shit. And then when he come into LA, he was going to meet up with her one-on-one. And I didn't know anything about this.
Guy, isn't that a regular Monday for Adam? Am I missing something here? Isn't that the whole controversy even with Colleen? Adam's been texting people. That's his thing. I always say, why are people surprised by things that people have always done? It's not like this something new. Adam does that. That's what he does. He's networking, right? He's networking.
And then when my mom told me, I was like, that's fucking weird as shit. So this little freak was trying to weasel his way into a friendship with my mom. I found that very bizarre and very off-putting. And that's why I was like, I'm so out on Adam. Like, what's wrong with you, dude?
Adam was always in the H3 chat, I remember. You guys were, or the crew maybe, were giving him merch and stuff because he would wear it or shout you guys out and he would advertise the merch. You guys interacted with Adam a lot back then.
And I can totally see why.
I'm so glad she told us about it, by the way,
God.
ahead of time, because like.
Because my mom's a sweet,
way
naive
too naive,
lady.
Way too naive.
Who knows what my mom tells him? She's so sweet and
she
naive.
will like post on Instagram, hey, I'm right here at this Ralph's at this address.
Yeah.
Like, she's very naive.
Yeah, so it's like, it's just so ridiculous. I just found that super gross. And also, this accusation really pissed me off. Like, it's just such bullshit.
Trisha is incredibly popular right now and her podcast is doing great.
No,
Why the fuck do I care?
Ethan is allowed to miss what was a really great, entertaining show. So I think there's a lot of complicated emotions when it comes to that.
I love the way Hila backed up Ethan's admiration for Trisha.
By the way, again, she's doing great. And honestly, if you go back, I've been cheerleading her since the minute she made her podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I was saying, she's super funny. She's a great entertainer. If you guys like Trisha, you should go watch it.
Right, I remember that.
Hi, everybody. I'm just coming in here right now to delete this whole part about Adam McIntyre. It turns out it was all a misunderstanding. Ethan apologized to Adam. It turns out in the end that his mom confirmed that Adam didn't do anything to make her feel uncomfortable, and that's that.
I don't need you. What did he mean by that?
When families ended. That's out of line, right? That was out of place.
Well, maybe he was just.
We can agree. All right, we agree. That was out of line.
Probably meant, oh, you should start your own something. I don't know. Who knows?
Okay.
I don't think he meant it to be mean. I don't think he meant anything to be mean. I was not insulted by anything he wrote. I don't remember anything like that.
All right, well.
He seemed like a nice guy. I don't know.
Well, so I have to apologize to him because I said he was creeping on you. So, Adam, I apologize. I obviously had bad information on that one. And apparently you're a nice guy, although I don't appreciate the you don't need Ethan comment. That's a little overstepping boundaries in a serious way. No,
everything seemed fine, babe.
Nothing. It was fine. Okay.
It was fine. So I'm going to get back to my mahjong game because it's hard for me to focus while I'm talking.
Well, this was important. I appreciate you taking the call. This was important.
Okay.
Well, today, Mom, hold on. He made a video about me and he said I'm embarrassing. He said I should be embarrassed.
Embarrassed about what?
About what I said about Moses. He says the only reason I like Trisha is because her The only reason that I'm saying nice things about Trisha because her podcast is doing well, and that I embarrassed myself. What do you say about that?
Oh no, this is not going where I think it's going. Oh no.
Incorrect.
There it is. But say it more mean. Like, say something about him.
Well, I mean, obviously you have a disagreement with your brother.
Oh, for Christ's sake.
And it has nothing to do with I mean, I know you had a falling out with Trisha for crack. And
Everyone, listen up. This is important. They're gonna finally say what's going on.
And you certainly had a falling out with Moses.
Certainly.
I personally had issues with Moses for some things that he said that were not true about your father and I. So
Didn't I say it? Didn't I say it?
Well, like, I need to make a point that, like, he will never succeed in what he's trying to do. He will only ever make it worse.
Read between the lines, people. You know what Moses is trying to do? Moses is trying to drive a wedge between the Kleins and the Hacmons. I'm telling you, that's what it is. He's telling Hila to stay on the Klein side, and he wants his family, his brothers and sisters, and Trisha on the Hacmon side. Ethan didn't say it, but that's what's going on. I'm telling you, that's what's going on. Ethan's hinting towards it, but I'm just gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. Moses has a problem with the Kleins. That's been it for a while now. But he won't say it. He would rather be passive-aggressive about the situation. He'd rather throw rocks than hide his hands. This is the result of people who are passive-aggressive. The object of their anger, given time, will explode.
And he keeps...
You guys, I finally said it, and I didn't even say it the way I really want to say it. I want to say Moses had a problem with Donna, but I just said the Kleins. But you guys... I'm glad I at least just left that part in. Because I said, I just sometimes don't want to step out of bounds. But okay, they're telling you everything. And this isn't news. This has been going on.
Really? Oh, yeah, because he was talking shit about everybody behind our backs. What did he say about you again? I forget.
Please watch the I Am Moses video. Everything is in there. I've already done the voiceover. I'm editing the voiceover. And I will just say it plainly what happened. But everything they're saying has been out. This is what Moses has been up to.
he made some sort of comment that Dad and I moved to Mexico to avoid taxes or something.
Oh, that was fucking ridiculous. It's just totally...
We have to pay taxes in Mexico and... and the United States.
Also,
I remember that story.
so you guys were retired. You moved there when you were retired. You weren't even working. Like, what the fuck? And nobody ever told him that. That was just a straight up, completely fabricated lie, which he was doing about all of us, we learned, which is one of the reasons I was like, oh my God, this guy who I've been close with all these years, I don't actually know him at all.
Ding, 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 ding. This is what I'm saying, all right? A lot of times in families, it's not like these huge things that break families apart. No, it's something as little as Moses, I'm just giving their version of the story, lying about them, saying things that happened that didn't happen. In the I Am Moses video, remember there's this one scene where I stop and focus on Trisha calling Moses a liar. Moses has been that person. Also, look at this video right here. Why Moses hates Ethan. I couldn't spell it out more clearly.
Well, it was very strange that he would say something like that. It was very hurtful.
Yeah.
And that he was family.
Yeah, someone you had spent time with.
I don't want to dogpile on Moses, because I've said before, and I'll say it again, Moses has legit beef with Hila and Ethan. Let me make it clear. Moses didn't just wake up on the wrong side of the bed one day and it's like, that's it, I'm going to hate Ethan and Hila forever. No, there was a turn. It started from somewhere. He's already said what it is. I understand where Moses is coming from. I understand.
All right, I got to go. You got to go too. All right, thank you, Mom.
Love you, babe.
All right, love you too, back. There it is. My mom all of a sudden being so reasonable.
Nuts.
Okay, I was wrong.
We're going to have dinner with Adam, and then we're like,
He's already
wait,
posted
wait,
a video.
Hold up. What are you
Ethan
talking
Klein
about?
lied about me. You're such a dork-ass bitch loser. You're like the most clout-chasing loser ever, bro. Good luck with that. Get on that Trisha clout train quickly if you can. Because I believe... whatever, fuck it. Good luck with that, Adam.